What is stagecraft and how do we develop it? Well, it's something we should be developing right from a young age, from our very first performance. It's how we conduct ourselves when we're performing. It's how we show an audience the difference between practice on stage and performance. We don't want to go on stage and look like we're just practicing a piece. We want to go on stage and really pull our audience in, take them on a journey. How do we do that? Well, one of the things we need is confidence. Even if we don't feel confidence, we've got to project confidence. So the younger you start your students performing, the easier or the more natural stagecraft will feel. So we have to deliver a performance in a way that it doesn't sound like we're practicing or getting through a piece. It has to be ready. That's number one thing when we're thinking about confidence. You are going to be much more confident if you know your piece, your works really well. If you've put that work in, it doesn't mean it will take any sense of performance anxiety away. And performance anxiety is something I will talk about in another video. But today I really want to talk mostly about stagecraft and how we can develop it. So when I'm adjudicating competitions with sometimes children that are younger, they may be really advanced pianists, but they might be quite young, and they haven't yet developed that ability to walk on stage confidently, play their piece, take their bows and walk off, sort of give this sense of occasion and sense of performance. So I often see things like someone nervously coming up on stage, mumbling something about what they're going to play, and that's another important point. What is it called? What's it about? You don't have to give a big lecture or a whole sort of even a paragraph about what it's about, but just announce the title, know what it's about, so that you know your audience knows as well, kind of almost what to expect by the title, and you're preparing them. Whereas if you just come up on stage, plonk your music on the stand if you're playing for music, or not if you're not playing for music, and scuttle off as soon as you've finished, that's not a sense of performance. So come up, announce your piece, and sit down, adjust your stool. Do not be worried about taking time to adjust your stool. Make sure you feel comfortable. Make sure you're at the right height. If you're playing in a festival or a competition, or even a student recital, it may be the person before you, and this goes for any exams as well, it may be that the person before you was much taller or much shorter. So take your time, have the confidence to take your time. This is your time to prepare before you deliver your performance. Put your music on the stand, or if you are not going to use the music and you're playing on a grand piano, you want to really put the music desk down. So make sure you know how to do that. If you don't know how to do that, your teacher should have shown you, or you should be able to rehearse that before a performance. It's a performing convention. If there is a chance to play the piano beforehand, do take it, because different pianos sound differently, different rooms, different acoustics will feel very, very different. And if you're performing in a great big massive hall and you're used to playing an electric piano in your front room, and you're playing a big grand piano and you've got to project the back of the hall, you need to really have a sense of how you might need to adjust your dynamics. Knowing all of these things will make you feel much more confident when you come on stage. If, however, you are faced with a piano you don't know and a venue you don't know, which has happened to it can happen to us professionals. It's happened to me on more than one occasion. I've had pianos on wheels that weren't locked. You just expect them to be locked. And during the performance, the piano has begun to migrate, which is quite unnerving. I've played in buildings where nobody's sorted out the lighting, so the lighting begins to go off in the middle of your performance. All of these things It's important to try and make sure, if it's your concert, make sure you know all of these things have been thought about. If you are a young person performing for the first time or one of the first times, your teacher should make sure you know all of these things, and the person organising the festival or concert should have dealt with all of these things. So you come on stage, you announce your piece, you sit down, you take your time, and then you don't just play the first note. Sit there, sing it in your head, hear the sound you want to make before you play. When you've finished, and how could I forget this part? If you do make mistakes, and trust me, we all do, you don't let it show. Don't tut, don't pull a face, don't look angry, don't look upset with yourself, don't stop, don't go back and correct it. This is the opposite mindset that you have when you're practicing. This is, you keep going. We want that sense of performance. In this performance, tell us what the music's about as you're playing through the music. Take us on that journey, tell us the story, paint us the picture. Get up when you've finished. Don't jump off the stool though, wait for that last note. If there's a long note and a pause even, let it hang there, let the audience feel it. That's part of stage presence. Don't just jump off your chair and stand up, grab your music and disappear. Let that note hang there, then get up. Take your bow first. If you're going to take music off the stand, take it when you've taken your bow. It looks messy, it looks uncomfortable. If people are clapping, you've got your back to them. They're thanking you for your performance, and you're going to thank them in return by taking a bow. And then off you go off the stage. If you are an older and more seasoned performer, then stagecraft means something else to you, something a little bit more sophisticated, something that you've practiced for years and years. And we may, as we get older, feel the nerves a little bit more. And we have lots of ways of dealing with those, which again, we'll address in another video. But just knowing that you've done the work is one of the biggest things I can advise you to do. Not making excessive and unnecessary movements or sounds at the piano that you don't need to, because that can look overdone. It can look unnecessary and, dare I say, a little bit pretentious. Everybody has their own mannerisms when they're performing, and that's fine, but we don't need to exaggerate by pulling funny faces, or we will all naturally pull certain faces when we are performing, and I think it happens more when we're performing from memory. Sort of we're recalling things. I often close my eyes when I'm playing from memory because I can hear better. Listen to every sound you're making, be in the moment, let things go, and then no matter what's happened, even if you feel like your performance was a disaster, don't get up all apologetically and look. Just own your moment, take your bow and learn from the experience, because it is a learning journey, a constant lifetime learning journey. I'm still learning 40, 50 years in. So do perform as much as you can. If you're a teacher, start your students as young as possible, even if that's in a duet. Just start them on the stage, get used to it, get used to that sense of occasion. It's a wonderful thing to do, to share music with other people. So try to encourage students to perform as much as possible and to enjoy the experience and to understand the different mindsets between practicing and performance. Another thing, dress appropriately. So when I say dress appropriately, I don't mean some sort of uniform. I mean, if you're pedaling, you need shoes that allow you to pedal. Don't have great thick sole trainers on, because you can't really feel the pedal. Not through a sole like this, you can't, not sensitively. Wear something you know you feel comfortable in. Have practiced in your outfit, because if you sit down and you're wearing something really tight and you haven't really thought it through, you sit down to play and you feel very restricted, you're just not going to feel comfortable. It's about feeling comfortable, not feeling distracted by your clothes, feeling that you can perform as well as you're able to without feeling hemmed in or worrying if something's falling off, or you're not sitting properly. We don't want to really think about it. Once we've decided what we're going to wear, practiced in it, we don't really want to have to think about that at all. But do have a sense of occasion. Quite often I see people in festivals these days just turning up in tracksuits, and it may sound old-fashioned, but I don't think it gives a sense of occasion. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to wear a denim jacket, you don't have to wear a long dress, but some kind of sense of occasion, I think is, to be honest, I think is respectful to your audience as well. They've come to hear you, they've paid to hear you if it's a paid concert, or they've come to support you, and it does add to that sense of performance, having just a smart outfit on. So all of these are things to think about, and there's much more which I will cover in further videos.